What do you do when parts of your body don't function the way that they used to? And things that you used to do, the simplest of tasks, have become so difficult and frustrating. And what you once used to consider something just so easy to do has now become extremely difficult. It's nobody's fault. It's just MS. That is the way that things happen. It's the way that some things can progress. We don't know when it's going to happen. We don't know how long the recovery process is going to be. But there are aids out there to help us with our daily living and to help us manage those periods of time when we have difficulties being able to do things. It's been exactly 2 years today since I've had my arm relapse, and I wanted to do a video on the aids that I used to help me through that period, and also talk about aids which now I wish I'd used and would have been really beneficial to me, sort of had I've known that they were on the market and available out there to people who are struggling with their mobility with their hands, because there are actually so many things out there to be able to help us. And I just want to talk you through some of the things that I've experienced and difficulty wise, and share them with you just so that you know that they are out there. Now, they're nothing mind-blowing, they're nothing sensationally, wowing, but for me, they did change things and they did help me in everyday life when I was going through my relapse, which made a massive difference to me. So if it made a difference to me, I'm hopefully thinking that it can make a difference to you, for anybody out there who may also be going through a hand or arm relapse with their MS. Everybody will be different in what they experience with their hand relapse or anything that affects their arm. For me, I had numbness, I had weakness, I had sensory loss, and I probably had a combination of a lot of different things over the years. And so you have to kind of adapt with that and then look at the kind of aid which is going to suit you. So all through that time, there will be different aids to suit me at different points, if that makes sense. You need to kind of like swap and change your aids at the appropriate time and how it would suit your relapse at that time and your mobility. I particularly had problems in the kitchen. I couldn't cut things, I couldn't open jars, I couldn't hold things. I just found everything different. I couldn't pull rings of cans, I couldn't open cans. There was just a wide range of things that I realised that I couldn't do. And so I started looking into things that could help me, like electric can openers and aids that I could have in the kitchen which would adapt with me and help me out. So these are just a couple of them that I've got, and I can show you how they are used and what they are used for. So this is ideal for those with limited hand mobility, and this is the automatic can opener that I was telling you about. It actually opens cans 50% quicker as well, and it's effortless, and it's literally become the best thing in my kitchen. It takes battery operated, really simple to use, and I mean, I think that even if you didn't have hand issues, you'd probably swap out to that. So definitely something worth investing in. The other issue I have is opening ring pull cans as well, because they're just difficult. I find them difficult. I find them fiddly, and equally because I don't have much sensation on the tips of my fingers, I find sometimes I don't even know if I've cut my finger. So anyway, I have found this little gadget, which is the ring pull can opener. Very sort of self-explanatory. You just pop it on under the ring pull, and it's ideal for people who kind of suffer from weakness or lack of grip in their hand, even for people who suffer from arthritis as well. It's little effort is required, and it's a large handle for people who do have bad grip or little grip. And also, what I like about this is that if you do kind of have a problem with sensory issues, it's a big enough handle to keep away from the sharp edges when it does open. So very, very simple little thing, but definitely one to have in the kitchen as a good little helping aid. Another kitchen aid which I think is incredibly important is the multifunctional cutting aid. I just think that it's so versatile for somebody who only has sort of function in one hand. It was definitely something that I found so difficult through my whole time with this relapse, not being able to cut things up, not being able to hold things. And this board is specifically designed to hold things in place, hold salad bowls in place, hold mixing bowls in place, hold jars in place so that you can unscrew with your good hand. And it's got, as you can see here in the picture, it's got little spikes to hold the food securely in place. It's definitely extremely versatile and multifunctional. And, you know, I think that it's something that would help somebody every day, in everyday sort of situations, who are in the kitchen and who don't really have anybody to help them prepare their food and do things like that. You know, so I really like this. I'm going to put this down in the description box of where you can buy this. This is online, this particular product. I'm actually going back to 2009 when I had a relapse then, and it affected both of my hands. It affected my whole body, but I'm going to be focusing on my hands. In the same way, but I had no pain that time, but I could not feel anything in my hands. I couldn't pick things up, small things. So I had real difficulty in picking up keys, in really doing anything at all with my hands at that point. So one thing that I want to show you, and this is another aid that I found, which is ideal for people who have problems handling small door keys. And it's a 3-key door turner. Now, I do know that a lot of people have more than 3 keys, because I know I do. But if you know that you've got 3 main keys and you can fit them onto this, this is a lifesaver for anybody who doesn't want to be fumbling around in their bag looking for a bunch of keys that they can't feel because they have no sensitivity in their fingertips, and they just, you know what I mean. And this is in your bag. It's a big object. It's easy to feel. It's easy to sense. Maybe you can keep it in your pocket. You don't even have to keep it in your bag. And it holds 3 keys, which fold away compactly, neatly into the actual object. And you can just lift it up and your keys come up. And then you can just use it in your door. For me, I just find that, I don't know, very simple again, very simple, but for somebody like me who's fumbling around in their bag trying to find some keys, it's so simple but so effective. Does anybody know what this is? It's called Laura's Lifesaver. It's actually a button hook with a zip puller. I can't even begin to tell you how my fingers would not work at all. So going back to 2009, I couldn't do a button up. It was impossible. So I just had to wear clothes that I could just pull over my head. with ease. That wasn't an issue this time, but the real issue was because I had the pain in my hand. It was pulling zippers down and pulling bra straps on, and everything was painful. Every single movement was painful. So to be able to have this, I mean, I want to do this video to cover everything. Painful hands, numb hands, hands that don't feel, just bad hands really. But this is very, very effective. If you don't have the sensitivity and you can just push it through and unbutton, not unbutton, you're not trying to unbutton, to button it. These are so simple and effective. I mean, they're great. And that just latches onto your zip and you pull it. It really is as simple as that. I mean, maybe I should demonstrate, but I think you all probably are very clever. You know, you can work out what that does, can't you? When I had my relapse, I could not even do this. Simple thing, pick up a pen. Yeah, as easy as that. I mean, take it for granted now. I can even write. It's amazing. I can draw. I can do all these wonderful things, but I could not do that. And to have these small things, which are writing grips, they're amazing, because you just put them on your pens, and you know, if your grip isn't as good to be able to hold that, it's just flexible and cushioned and offers comfortable writing positions, and it helps to reduce the fatigue as well in your hand. It fits most standard pencils. I mean, if you can't hold a pencil, you can't hold a pencil at the end of the day. And I think back to if I had when I was going through a really bad relapse, that wouldn't have meant anything to me, if I'm being totally honest. You could have stuck that on a pencil or a pen and I would have still not been able to use it. But now it just gives me that sense of, because I don't have much feeling on my fingertips, but and that's why I was trying to say at the beginning of the video, is that you have to be able to use these aids in relation to where you are in your relapse, because I don't want to take the mick out of anybody and say, pop that on the end of your pencil and you're going to be fine. I know that doesn't make any difference to anybody who has got no feeling in the end of their fingertips, because it wouldn't have made any difference to me. But if you're further along in your relapse and you feel better now and you're getting feeling back and all those kind of things, then that's, you know, it may help now. You don't even realise it, do you? Putting your shoes on was a massive thing for me, because I had so much pain in this wrist I couldn't pull them on. And I really couldn't lace them up, so I stopped wearing lace-up shoes, but I still had this issue with pulling on my shoes. So bring in the shoehorn, but flexible shoehorn. This is actually, again, specially adapted shoe aid. I think this one is from the British Red Cross as well, and it's online, but you can probably get these online from pretty much any aid shop. The British Red Cross seem to allow you to be able to deduct your tax relief from there, and therefore making it slightly cheaper for those people who do have tax relief, and their products, don't know, for some reason just seem to be cheaper. It's the cheapest ones that I found so far. I haven't looked to see if they ship to other countries, but I will try and find out and then put that in the description box. But I'm not going to show you how to use it, because I think we all know how to use a shoehorn, but it's just so silly, because simple thing like that saved my arm from having to pull on and be in pain. Shoehorn. And last but not least, I know it's probably going to sound stupid, to be honest, really stupid, but you know, nothing is stupid if I'm being honest when it comes to aids, but it's a seatbelt helper. And it's just so simple again, but again, this is made, it's ideal with people who have limited weakness in their arm or limited weakness in their body. And I found that because every time I was reaching around to get my seatbelt, I was in so much pain again. And even though I was wearing my wristband, it wasn't enough to support my arm. And so therefore, when this is strapped onto the seatbelt, you have a greater flexibility, shall we say, of being able to, you don't have to reach around and grab it, it's literally there. So you just pull it down and there's no need for having to turn around, pull your whole body and grab at something, you know, which is up there. It's such a simple thing, but honestly, the difference that these aids make are huge to somebody who's in pain every day and who has to suffer. And even if it is for a short period of time, why not? You know, why should we suffer for a week, a month, 2 months, 2 years, 3 years? Why should we? If these aids are available and are going to help us, we should be taking advantage of those to give us the most support and ease of daily living that we can possibly have. So that's all I'm going to cover on the aids today. I do have other aids, but they're not really relevant to this video, so I'm just going to keep it there for now. I hope that maybe some of these aids that I've explained might be able to help you in some way. Just want to give a very quick update on my arm as well, because it has been 2 years. So, and maybe people that have watched or people that are going through, you know, an arm relapse want to know what happens after 2 years. Where are you? What is she doing? So I would say that my arm now, my hands, my arm is back to 85%. Yeah. I feel now that because it's been 2 years, I really don't expect anything more. I think that that's as good as it's going to get. Why am I saying 85%? I'm saying 85% because there are still times where I do things and I'm like, oh, ow, that hurts, or I felt that. I can't weight bear on my hand still without there being a slight bit of pain. Still, in some instances, when my hand gets really cold, I can feel that pain coming back, that pain, but nowhere near, absolutely nowhere near what it was. You know, tears, pain, crying every day, never thinking that I'm going to get out of it. Nothing like that. It is absolutely nothing like that. And honestly, I will take 85%. If it stays that way, I will take it because it's so much better than where it is. And I'm very happy that I've got there. Also the fact as well, you have to remember that I'm not taking any medication whatsoever. On that basis, you also have to remember that my relapse would have taken a hell of a lot longer to heal itself than maybe somebody who was going to take medication or steroids or anything like that. So I think that if you are going through it, just be mindful maybe of that, but also stay strong, stay positive, that if you are in this, it will, you will see improvement. The body is an amazing thing. I always say it, I know I do, but if the body can heal without anything given to it and it can do all this in 2 years, okay, 2 years has been a long time, but it's not all been bad, But I'm in a really good place with it, and I feel good, and long may it all continue. I hope everybody is keeping well, and I will catch you all very soon. Take care of everybody. Bye.